Imagine a time over 12,000 years ago, a world on the cusp of transformation. Humanity stood at a pivotal movement, transitioning from the hunter-gatherer stage to settled communities. This was a time before agriculture and written language, yet amidst the primal landscape was an astonishing discovery that was known as Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe has challenged the understanding of prehistoric societies. It's been dubbed the world's first temple. The site predates the estimated age of Stonehenge by around 6,000 years. Not just this, but it stands as a testament to human ingenuity and spirituality. So today, we're going to have a little delve into the architectural genius, the cultural significance, and the mysteries surrounding this enigmatic site, exploring what it reveals about our ancestors and their capacity for collective creativity. At first, people thought that the T-shaped pillars that were underneath the ground were just grave markers. However, in 1994, all of this changed when archaeologist Klaus Schmidt decided to dig deeper. What he found, it completely changed everything that we thought we knew about human evolution. The name Göbekli Tepe means potbelly hill or hill with a navel, which fits perfectly because of the hill it's buried under. But here's the twist. The site does appear to have been buried on purpose. But why? Was it to protect it? Or maybe to preserve it for the future? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So a little bit more about Göbekli Tepe. It consists of 5 massive stones, each featuring carved T-shaped pillars. These monoliths, some standing over 5 meters tall and weighing up to 20 tons, were quarried and transported without the use of modern tools. The findings indicate these structures served several ritualistic purposes rather than just being used for living purposes. Each pillar has carvings with animals such as snakes, foxes, cranes and scorpions. This offers a glimpse into their symbolic world and the symbolism of the ancient builders. Now, one of the most talked about features of Göbekli Tepe is the bags that we find actually carved onto the pillars. These appear on other sites around the world as well, from Mesopotamia to South America, but what could they mean? Some people believe it is something to symbolize tools or objects of creation, while others see them as symbols of knowledge and offerings to the gods. Then there's Pillar 43, the so-called vulture stone. Researchers think it might mark a massive event, the Younger Dryas impact, a meteor strike around 13,000 years ago. But here's some extra detail. Some researchers believe the symbols show the Taurid meteor stream, which is still active today. Now, could they have been tracking this for generations before Göbekli Tepe was made? Now, there's another layer to the entire mystery of Göbekli Tepe. It shows no signs of being a settlement. There's no homes, no kitchens, there's no rubbish pits. It seems like Göbekli Tepe wasn't a place that people lived. So what is it? Is it a temple? A meeting place? A school for teaching new skills? Like farming and construction, so almost like a modern day university. But there is other stuff as well. It wasn't all built at once. Archaeologists believe it was constructed in phases over hundreds, if not thousands of years. Was the act of building and burying part of their rituals? And to this day, only 5% of Göbekli Tepe has been unearthed. Could you just imagine what is lying to still be found? What is still lying underground that we haven't discovered yet? Is there more structures? Are there more carvings? Even more clues to the people who built it. Now, the site's most striking feature is its complexity. The enclosures are circular, with oval pairs of central pillars surrounding the peripheral pillars embedded in the stone walls. They do suggest there was careful planning and a shared communal effort, a feat made even more extraordinary when you consider that it was achieved by a society that hadn't yet developed farming. The enclosures at Göbekli Tepe, particularly B, C and D, they all share a common design principle. At the centre of the enclosure there are 2 massive T-shaped pillars, surrounded by smaller pillars embedded in a curved wall. It is the result of meticulous geometric planning. Using advanced tools such as standard deviation mapping, archaeologists have identified statistical centre points within the enclosures. These points, calculated based on the positions of peripheral pillars, align precisely with the midpoint between the southern faces of the central pillars in enclosure C and enclosure D. In enclosure B, the centre point lies slightly closer to the geometric centre of the space. The precision underscores the intentional and mathematical understanding of the builders. Further analysis of enclosure C reveals an equidistant relationship between the central pillars and the surrounding walls, creating a harmonious symmetry. The central pillars in enclosure C and D rest on almost like a pedestal of bases that have been carved into bedrock, indicating they were integral to the original construction. In contrast, enclosures B pillars are set into plaster floor, suggesting a different type of construction phase. Despite these differences, all modifications in the enclosure adhere to the original geometric rules, maintaining the sacred focus on the central points. Perhaps the most astonishing discovery is the geometric relationship between the enclosures themselves. The statistical center points of enclosures B, C, and D form a near perfect equilateral triangle, measuring approximately 19.25 meters. This remarkable precision, with less than 1.5% distortion, indicates the builders had precision measurement techniques. The equilateral triangle's design may have been achieved with simple tools such as ropes of equal length, demonstrating advanced spatial awareness. The triangle's alignments appear to extend beyond mere geometry. The central pillars of enclosures B and C align along an axis parallel with the southern side of the triangle, emphasizing a symbolic connection. Now, the carvings on the pillars provide tantalizing clues about the belief of the people who were within Göbekli Tepe. Depictions of animals, including dangerous predators such as snakes and scorpions, may symbolize cosmic forces or spiritual entities, or even shamanistic practices. Enclosure D's size, with the intricate carvings on the central pillars, indicate its elevated status within the complex. These carvings may have conveyed shared myths, encoded cosmic knowledge, or facilitated communal ceremonies. The architectural principles observed at Göbekli Tepe, they weren't isolated. Similar design elements are evident at Novelli Kori, another prehistoric site in the region. As well as Göbekli Tepe, they have T-shaped pillars that occupy the central positions. The placement of these pillars relative to their geometric centers also reveals symbolic and architectural practices. The discovery of this shared design rule strengthens the hypothesis that Göbekli Tepe's enclosures were not constructed haphazardly, but were part of a unified vision. This interconnectedness seems to suggest that there may have been visual or symbolic communication between them. The construction of Göbekli Tepe required immense effort and collaboration. The quarrying, the transportation, and the erection of the massive pillars, combined with the intricate carvings, would have demanded specialized skills and labour organisation. This collective endeavour implies the existence of a complex social structure capable of mobilising and sustaining such large-scale projects. And Göbekli Tepe predates the advent of agriculture, raising questions about the relationship between monumental architecture and the development of farming. Some researchers propose that the need to sustain large cooperative families for projects like Göbekli Tepe may have driven domestication of plants and animals. Its legacy extends far beyond the physical remnants that we see today. It represents a profound moment in human history, when creativity, spirituality, and collaboration converge to produce a site of unparalleled significance. The precision of its architecture, the symbolism of its carvings, and the mystery of its purpose continue to inspire awe and curiosity. There are people, such as Graham Hancock, who do believe that Göbekli Tepe was a resurgence of civilization rather than the start of civilization. Graham Hancock talks a lot about how there was a comet strike that could have wiped out civilization as we know it around 12,800 years ago, which is the Younger Dryas impact. He does believe that Göbekli Tepe was more of a relearning of society and was a place that people could actually learn about how civilization was before the comet strike. Now, I'm not too sure if I believe this or not. However, it's very good food for thought. Guys, thank you. I know this has been a short video. However, I did just want to make a quick video on Göbekli Tepe because the place really does fascinate me. And it's clear to see that the geometry and the symbolism within it is not a coincidence whatsoever. So guys, thank you for listening. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.